Hey world! So this is the first review of the books I read for the Yearathon. If you don't know what the Yearathon is, it's basically just a challenge for the first week of each month where you have the topic of which books you can read. There will be the link to the Yearathon Goodreads account and also my Goodreads account down below if you want to know what it really is, because I don't think I can explain it really well. Anyways, this month first Yearathon challenge was to read bench warmers, which basically just means books that have been on your shelf for quite a long time. So I started with Dear Dozy. It's by Werner Lansburgh. It's a German book. Well, it's a German-English book. I got this from a family friend, I think about like 6 years ago, maybe it was less, maybe it was like 4 years ago, when I decided that English would be kind of my future. And this is a book where he kind of tries to explain the English language and tries to bring you closer to the English language as a German reader. The idea is quite good. There are some good phrases I did learn from this, but I have to say, I stopped. And the reason I stopped is because this guy right here isn't only arrogant and quite in love with himself, but also sexist and racist. And if he isn't himself, then I'm sorry, but why did you choose to present yourself like this in this book? I honestly couldn't stand the way he wrote it. There were so many moments he said like he wanted basically to have sex with all his readers. There were so many moments where he just threw out some stereotypes of some other country or some other culture, and so many moments that I just couldn't stand reading. So I did stop at some point because I didn't want to read this anymore. It's just, I think this might be the worst book I have ever read. And I really hope that my family friend who bought this for me didn't read this before, because then I would really question her like of reading. So I put down this one after 2 days and instead started reading this one. This is a German one again. In English it's called Fractured, and in American, just let me have a look, Then and Always. It's by Dani Atkins. And this is a book I got from my mom after my A-levels. And the reason I didn't read it up until now is because the beginning is at the end of the A-levels of the girl in this book, who is called, I've forgotten her name, Rachel? Yeah, Rachel. So this is at the end of the A-levels of Rachel. And yeah, it's about how they all say goodbye to each other. And I just couldn't read that at that moment. So I did pick it up now. It still was very sad to read in the beginning. Basically the story is that Rachel and all her friends after the A-levels have these big goodbye dinner where they go to in a nice restaurant. But there is an accident where her best friend dies. And that obviously changes all their lives, and they didn't talk to each other after that, and she gets really sad and doesn't fulfill her dreams and just feels really miserable. And then 5 years later she has another accident where she just, yeah, there's something with her brain. And then it kind of, her life splits into two. This isn't a spoiler because that's on the back of the book, so don't hate me for saying this. Yeah, as I said, her life splits into two parts and she kind of lives in both and tries to explain what's happening to her friends and her family. And I can't say more than that because everything else would be a spoiler. But I have to say that I was really interested in the way this book works, because the beginning was really heart-filled and really sad, and I did cry. And then the middle part, where her two lives are described, was quite cheesy and at times even stupid. There were times in the middle part where I thought, why are you doing this? What's wrong with you? Like, you are stupid. I honestly did think about putting this one down as well at some parts, but I didn't. I made it to the end, and then the end happens. Oh god, the end. And it's different from everything I would have expected. It's sad. It's quite shocking. It's crime material. And what I found really interesting is how this end, in retrospect, makes the cheesy, stupid, unimportant middle part seem quite important and makes it seem quite intelligent even. And I think I have to reread this one just to look at the middle part with different eyes. So if you... Yeah, I wouldn't say you have to read this because of the story, but I think you should really pick this up and read it because of the way it works. It's really just... I think I'm quite mind blown a bit by it, how that worked, how it all seemed so unimportant, and then there's like this 2 last pages and everything kind of seems different. So yeah, if you want to, I think it's only like 300 pages, so it's not that much. So if you want to pick up Fractured or Then and Always or Die Axt um meine Welt, whatever language you want to read it, by Dani Atkins, of course the Goodreads link will be down below. And yeah, I can't really tell you if I liked it or not. It was just really interesting. So yeah, that's the 2 books or 1.5 books I read for a Eurathon in January. I'm participating in every single month of a Eurathon. Of course, you can only participate in some challenges or in some topics. Most of the people who participate read more than 1 or 2 books in this week, but to be honest, I'm just a really slow reader, and I also have university and I have different stuff to do. So I'm just going to read 1 book, or in this case 1.5 if I don't like the first one. But I will still do a little wrap up and a little review of that each month. The reason I'm putting this up on Sunday now is because I still had to do my December wrap up, which will be up on Wednesday after this. But after this, the Eurathon review will always be up the 2nd Wednesday of the month. If you do participate, then please let me know. Please come chat to me. I would love to talk about the books you're reading, the books I'm reading, how you're reading your books, what you're doing with them. So please come chat to me. As I said, the information about the Eurathon will be down bar below, as well as my Goodreads page, also with the links to these 2 books. And I think that's it for the Eurathon. I quite liked having this challenge of reading a book for a specific topic. I'm not quite sure if I find good books for each topic. I do have some ideas, but I'm not quite sure how it will work, so please subscribe if you want to know how my journey with the Eurathon goes on. And other than that, I hope you have a nice weekend or week if you're watching this later, and I hope that you always find a reason to smile, because your smile is beautiful. And have a nice reading experience. Until then, I'll see you Wednesday. Bye!